Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
There are waves in the modern day. Waves of corporate greed tying down our fun and ruining what made it special. Let me introduce you to the terrible world that's around us and what used to be pure innocent fun. The companies and people that orchestrated the games we grew up on, that we fell in love with, that we still hold dear to us even after all these years, one by one they are all falling into the modern capitalistic way of money begets money. A famous trading card game, Magic the Gathering, is under scrupulous attention of its players because Hasbro is pushing Wizards of the Coast for more cash money plays for the short term. This does gain traction, and more players are joining and buying this wonderful card game, but on the flip side, long-term players who have been playing for much longer than these decisions fell in love with the magnificent worlds and stories that were being told now feel empty. These corporate decisions to bring in more cards, more stories, more nonsense in the grand scheme of things ultimately clutters what made Magic special and eventually becomes hollow, a shell of its once former glory. Do you perhaps know about the Stop Killing Games movement? I'll be honest, I haven't been following it too much, but the gist is the movement wants to stop companies shutting down game servers because someone in the grand spectrum of gamers loves that game. No matter how trashy or buggy it is, someone loves it. And it's utterly heartbreaking to see something you love disappear because it is no longer financially feasible. Despite keeping one server up, probably not even making much of a dent in their pockets. The movement gained a lot of traction, many gamers signing petitions, and eventually it getting brought to an international court, where it was then approved. It was a victory, or so we thought. See, in their infinite wisdom, the video game companies found a loophole. Well, not really a loophole, more of a sidestep of what the ultimate idea is. See, these games matter to us as the consumers because it is our fun, our source of entertainment. By logical conclusion, it is then the producer's job to keep that source of entertainment up and running because that is their service. The moment they stop in that service, then it is that moment they give up their respect. The sidestep they chose was a natural progression of steps they were already taking before Stop Killing Games. It was the slow phasing out of game ownership, the push for paid limited time memberships, giving access to a full game catalog, but you don't own any of it. The moment your membership runs out, you can't play those games anymore. What has then evolved from that, most likely in response to the movement, is that physical discs are planning to never be sold again. Everything will be digitized, making ownership even more difficult. With prices going up and AAA game quality going down, this is just another spit in the face. Indies are getting more popular and statistics are showing that less games are being bought in general. There's also that popular saying going around on the internet that goes along the lines of, if buying is not owning, then piracy is not stealing. Well, something like that. Yar. Time to sell the 7 Seas once again. Effectively, corporate greed is telling people to no longer trust in what they're selling because their food has been spat on too many times. What was fun and enjoyable is now taxing and insulting. People are choosing to hold on to their last remaining standing bastions and keeping it tight, lest it gets swept away in some nonsensical scheme for just a few more zeros at the end of their banks. Tying all of this back to Minecraft, the ultimate medium for anything YouTube, we have our own share of capitalistic troubles. Mojang has been receiving a lot of hate over many of their decisions, and while I'm not justifying their choices or pretending to know anything about what is happening, I am choosing to believe that there are things we don't know about at play. We all know that Microsoft bought Mojang some time back. Then, coupled with disappointing big updates, Mojang decided to switch to drops. And since Minecraft is a forever game and the money that Microsoft gave Mojang doesn't last forever, money needs to be made. And as such, there's a Minecraft movie, spin-off game in Legends, a new sequel to Dungeons, another movie coming out soon, and of course the infamous Marketplace on Bedrock Edition. These are ways to generate money because Mojang doesn't have a reliable source of income with Minecraft itself. Those who love the game have the game. There is no need to give any more money. We own an account, and with that account can do anything with the base Minecraft game. This is what the big companies are trying to avoid by implementing membership fees. This is what Mojang is fighting against. And by trying to stay afloat in this do-or-die world, they need to prioritize what they can do for the game we all love and what they can do to keep it afloat. Also, keep in mind that not everything goes to them. Parent companies get a lot of cash too. Microsoft with the games and Warner Bros. For the movies. And while obviously not the best they can do, evident by the many amazing modders and indie game developers, Mojang is still trying, which not many game companies can say these days. Bethesda. Well, let me introduce you to a brilliant game company that fell recently, Techland. One of the greatest in terms of reputation, behind like Rockstar and CD Projekt Red, and probably a few more. While their later games have some things to be desired, they chose to stick it out for those games until the end, like they promised. Fortunately, like Mojang, they needed money, and they got that money from Tencent, a Chinese megacorporation. Hello, Cyberpunk. It wasn't too bad. Techland used that money to boost their games and upcoming projects, but now things are changing for the worse. Fixes and textures are being removed from their main game right now, Dying Light 2, and Asian characters are being put in and black characters are being removed. While nothing is to be certain about Tencent's involvement, there is a good through line to be suspicious enough. Unfortunately, this leaves a very sour taste in the community right now, and we can't do anything but watch. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that money needs to be made, and it needs to be kept to have our games and in turn our fun alive. These days it's no longer enough to have the passion and the support of fans to keep the fans happy and the dream alive. Deals need to be struck and mistakes will be made. Hate will be thrown and respect will be lost. Some companies will fight to the bitter end and some will fall. Some will remain at the top on corrupted foundations ready to be torn down by the angry masses below. There really isn't much of a purpose for this video beyond my own frustrations with these situations and how my joy has been tainted by this pervasive misery plaguing the various fandoms. Be careful with whom you support. Maybe there are things going on beyond what we can see. And take care. And try not to be too hard on Mojang. They are trying.